going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions. So just another recap on today's trading. Right now it is currently 11:40 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I did end up trading twice as of now today, and that was with CERU and with LPCN. I'm trying to get back into LPCN. I'll talk a little bit about that, but I kind of just wanted to share my whole thought process on today. I'm up currently $191.60. I've traded twice, and both are green trades. Ended up stop lossing out just to lock in my profits on LPCN, but again, I'll talk about that in a little bit. I shedded CERU when I got in at 67 cents. Let me tell you why. So as of yesterday, or not yesterday, Friday, CERU had a huge spike, right? It had a huge increase in volume, went all the way from lows of 67 all the way up to above 82 cents. So that was amazing, right? I believe it was like above 30% profit. And it had a range. It had a range from lows of 67 to 70. As you can see, this range right here. It was coming back down. It broke below this, resistance that was, because it was trading from 67 to 70. So this was the support. This was a resistance. Once the stock breaks above a resistance, it now becomes a support. And as you can see, CERU, in a sense, identified 70 cents as a support. So it supported my identification of this as a resistance / support. So now when it broke below it during pre-market hours, it dropped to lows of 66, which it has done so before, and it started showing signs of upward momentum. I didn't want to jump in right away, but I wanted to make sure that I got in at a good point and that I was managing my risk. So what was my risk, right? Well, I knew 67 based on it holding for so long. Again, these are 5-minute increments. You can see there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 candlesticks. That's support that it was holding above 67 cents. Again, when I ideally jumped in, I jumped in around right here, and I jumped in at 67.01, meaning that I got filled at 67.01, and I had a stop loss set at 65.99. And the reason I had it set at that point was because there was a support at 66 cents. So my risk was very little, right? My risk was small. What was my potential? Well, because realistically, on Friday, it was ranging from 67 to 70. I knew that was a realistic sell point, and I knew that was going to be a resistance, not only because it was before, but because it was also a support. So this was identified to me as a true, support / resistance. It would become a support once we break above it, but right now it's a resistance. So I knew I wanted to sell at or below that price point to get out at a good sell point. And that's ideally what my whole plan was. My plan was to get in at 67 cents, sell at or close to 70 cents, and cut my losses anything below 66 cents. So again, my loss was very small. My potential for growth was a lot greater. And I had a plan and I stuck to it, and I ended up making $130 very quickly. Once I shut it out, I told the team exactly where I was buying, where my plan was to sell, where I was going to cut my losses. It's what I do with TechBit Solutions. I share my best practices, and I'm not always right, and that's why I have that stop loss. It's to minimize my risk. And that's what led to my success with trading CERU. It hasn't been able to break above 70, but what I said was, again, this is a resistance. Once it does break above 70, and if it holds above 70, then I wouldn't mind getting in. The reason why is because now we have this other range from 70 to about 74 where it's been trading. So again, that's another area for profit. But again, realistically, you want to go based on levels. So I would rather buy here, sell here, and if it does end up breaking above, I'll buy around here and then sell around there. So it's all about having a plan, sticking to it, and making it simple for you, making sure that you have, proven to yourself that you know what you are doing. And, obviously with CRU, I had a plan, I stuck to it, and it was a successful trade. Now with LPCN, the reason I jumped into LPCN, I did a 1-month analysis, and I saw within this 1 month that it really had some low points here at around 390. It held pretty well overall within this past month, above 390. Now, when I ideally got in, it actually bounced initially at 390. I got in at 392, and it went almost to $4.10. But the reason I jumped in was because I identified a support at around $3.90. Now, getting a little bit closer, as you can see for today, March 27th, the support that I identified at 390 was valid. I'm going to change the frequency so you guys can see it a little bit better. But it ended up hitting highs of about $4.08. And once it broke above $4, I set my stop loss at $4 just to lock in my profit. So as it was going to continue to rise, once it broke above 410, my plan was to put my stop loss at 405. So follow with a stop loss every 5 cents, right? That's ideally what I like to do, especially when trading LPCN. I want to make sure that I'm managing my risk. I don't, if I'm in the green, then why not lock in that profit? And that ended up working out for my benefit because it did hit, almost 410. It came back down, and then I ended up stop lossing out at $4, and it tried it again, and then didn't make it. Ended up dropping below 390. Again, that was ideally 392 was my buy point, and now it's lows of 372. Now I'm trying to get in around 372, as that has identified it to be a good buy point, a good support, and a good sell point would again be at the previous resistance right here around 390. So my ideal buy point is 370 to 372, and my ideal sell point is around 390. And I can follow with the trailing stop loss when it continues to rise, but I need to get filled first. And I would set a stop loss right away after I get filled at $3.69 to minimize my loss. And again, that's just my way of trading. In no way do I suggest you guys to trade exactly like what I'm doing, right? And I have been using the RSI indicator to tell me, when it's a good buy and when it's a good sell. Right now, it's kind of at the low point, meaning that it's, it would be in a sense a good buy. And usually when it's at these peaks, right? That usually identifies it to be a good sell. But that's pretty much it. That's the breakdown for my trades today. A lot of you guys were able to bring in a good amount of profit. I do want to give a shout out to one of our members within TechBot Solutions. And I posted that he brought in a little bit over 10% profit with his trades today. So huge shout out to Eldin. I do want to thank you guys for participating and being so active within our group chat. And if you guys would like to be a part of TechBot Solutions, the link is provided for you down below. And then within that link, once you get accepted to the TechBot Solutions Facebook platform, and again, it's a free group, you can click on any of these links and you can just join our selected group chats. And it's kind of where we share best practices, share mistakes, and efforts to promote growth. So thank you guys again. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And we'd appreciate the support with a subscription if you can. And you just click that little red button right there. Thank you guys again. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Let's make sure that we end this week on a green note. Take care, guys.
Baby, don't you let it go to waste. We could put 'em all to shame. Now isn't the time to play it safe.